Scott, also known as the little guy, the guy on the left, the silent one, has long-lasting COVID symptoms and still cannot fully taste or smell. Hashtag trust Bart.
Hey, it's Scotch Test Dummies. I'm Scott.
Woo, Bart here.
We got us a Terry Bradshaw bourbon.
Terry Bradshaw bourbon with a little bit higher proof, and we're going to test it quarterback completion proof style.
Batch number 2, the Miracle style.
Ooh.
I think it's
the Immaculate Reception.
The Immaculate Reception.
Yes,
That's
it was close enough. An Immaculate
you knew
Reception.
what I was referencing.
It was a miracle. That shouldn't have happened.
That was the 70s. The Steelers were the Steel Curtain.
Ooh.
Me and my friend Ed, growing up little,
one friend.
Back in the 70s, I would be, when we would play football, I would always be Craig Morton, the Denver Broncos quarterback.
Oh.
And he was Terry Bradshaw, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm still a Broncos fan. He's still the Steelers fan. We're always texting each other when those rivalries come up.
Here's what I liked. When in the 70s, at the gumball machines for a quarter, you could get the little football helmets. All right?
I bet you.
And I was getting those. I was buying them. And so the Broncos are my favorite team because I was living in Evergreen, Colorado. But my second favorite team, simply to the style of the helmet, was black with a logo only on one side. I thought, why is it only on one side? I don't know, but it's unique, and I like it. So then the Steelers were my second team.
You know, as soon as you mentioned the little helmets, and it always seemed like I always got a New England Patriots or a Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, those were terrible.
They were terrible teams. But it was like there was more of those helmets.
Yeah, because you had the white helmet with the Tampa Bay thing was terrible.
Yeah.
And then the Patriots.
You know,
I didn't like it. I didn't like the old style. New style's good.
Yeah.
Old style. I was like, dang, I got another one.
Yeah. I know. But it's funny because now you got the two, I guess, Tom Brady powerhouses.
Right. And I had to get at least one piece of gum, so I was like, I only got 2 more quarters. What are we going to get? And I'd be like, woo.
People are going, get to the review.
Sorry, what are you doing?
Review starts in 5 minutes.
We're rambling, yeah. So what this is first of all, full disclosure, we were contacted and said, hey, we've seen your show. Would you like to review this? We'll send it. Yes.
Wait a minute. They saw the show and then they still wanted to send it?
In my mind, Terry Bradshaw's a fan of our show. Okay, probably he's never seen it. All right, but somebody with the team that did the bottling saw the show and said, you guys are the best YouTube Scotch people in the planet.
Is that That's what they said.
It was a he, and he said it.
Huh.
And I said, yes. They said, we're sending it. Yeah. He did say, we'll throw in a shirt. I said, one for a man and the other one child size. And he said, okay. And he sent you a large. So that is full disclosure. Now you have a saying, and you already pre-poured this.
Yeah.
So there's 2 things. Why don't you do your disclaimer on?
Oh, that's right. Yep. Still not back from COVID fully. Last October.
COVID victim.
So it's been 8 months now. My taste is really returning. My smell is still hardly there.
Yeah.
So don't trust me. Hashtag trust Bart.
Trust Bart, baby. That's the disclaimer. Now, we'll talk about the bottle here a little bit, because what's the other thing you like to say?
We don't do the research, so you have to.
Right. All right. But this is 51.9% ABV, and that is Terry Bradshaw's completion percentage. So a little bit hokey there. But what do we like? High-proof bourbons.
This is batch 2.
Batch 2, so it's 103.8 proof, 51.9 ABV, alcohol by volume, and we like high proof. So, all right. But
we prefer.
I like
high proof.
Some people know that. Now, if they can make it work at 40, great, but I'm usually not a fan of 40% ABV. I did one little bit of research because, of course, this is sourced from somebody. So I thought, can I find out who it's sourced from? No, I could not. I didn't dig too deep. But the word on the webs, the interwebs, is that it's a 3rd-generation master distiller. That's all I got.
Okay. Aged a minimum of 2 years in new charred oak. It's produced by the Silver Screen Bottling Company, Owensboro, Kentucky. Batch number 2.
Apparently,
2.
Bill Shatner.
Batch number 2.
Kirk also used them, so it's like a Silver Screen would be famous people connection.
So my nose is hindered still, but I got a blast of cherries on this.
See, I get a little bit of like a caramel tart apple. And I do get a little hint of a younger, not new make, but a younger whiskey as well. I think some of that, I don't think this is very old.
It's a minimum of 2 years.
Right.
So I did sip it beforehand. It had a little bit more flavor than I was expecting.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Because my deal on this is open expectations. Who knows what it's going to be? I have pre-tried it, but I get caramel, apple.
Maybe it's apple.
On the nose.
I was going to say sour cherry, but maybe it's a sour apple.
Yeah, I think that's what I get.
Yeah,
it's a little bit of caramel.
Almost a Granny Smith apple.
See, in the caramel I get, it's the Granny Smith, because it reminds me when we're going to go back to the 70s, when you did the apples on the stick around Halloween, you bought the little sheets of caramel, you heated them up and simply wrapped them around an apple. That was it. And then you had your Halloween caramel apple, and that's what this caramel reminds me of. And it wasn't like a real caramel, the dipping thing. It was a little bit of a fake caramel, but it was sweet and it was caramel-ish. And I love doing that. I don't even know if they make those anymore.
Okay, Mead at 51.9%. I like it. It's very good. It's got a very sweet, cinnamony, caramel apple, oak. It hasn't showed itself yet, but pre-sipping this, I got some char. As either a maple charcoal, a charcoal filter, or a wood char. There was a slight ashiness that came through on it.
All right. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you. This is at $40. I know we usually say it for later, but I didn't have great expectations for this. I thought it's going to be a celebrity kind of release, and we'll see where it lands. And but I stayed open. I stayed open to it, and I will agree that it's very sweet. So it's on the sweeter end of bourbons that I've had. I don't get a lot of smoky, kind of ashy char, but I get that sweet. The nose kind of carries through on the flavor. Let me try again, but it's very sweet and a little tart.
Makes me think wheated bourbon almost, or a very low rye mash bill.
Okay.
Possibly. And of course, my palate is a little hindered still, but not much spice really coming through.
No, more cinnamon, like you said.
More sweet and cinnamon.
Yeah. Sweet and cinnamon. And the finish is kind of that creamy caramel as well. So, and again, at that ABV, I was like, wow. And it really doesn't even hit me quite as that strong of an ABV on it. I would have thought it was like a 43, maybe a 46. It does feel lighter, 45. It doesn't feel like it's up there. So it's, I know some people don't like when we say smooth, but it's not like it's got that alcohol bite to it is what I say when I say it's smooth. Because I was like, really, it's 51.
Could it be, and it doesn't say it, could it be charcoal mellowed, where after it's aged, they run it through the charcoal mellowing process, takes out some of the harshness, maybe imparted some of that charcoal filtration.
I don't like this with the water as much. The water, I got more sour oak notes. That's weird. I liked it neat. And I remember trying it, but I tried it with a cube. Because again, you try it your way. This has a little more sour note. Not that it's bad, but I get a little more oak.
No, I like it with a drop of water.
Really? It was sweeter than
mouthfeel actually seemed to expand. Seemed to grow a little bit. But
I like it.
It exceeded. Now this is, I see you've had a few out of it.
Yep. I was testing it.
This is the first time that I've sat down with it. It exceeded my expectations, I'll tell you that. For $40, probably not bad. No, it's probably worth that, I would say.
Yeah, I thought it came in. That's a good price range for a 51.9% ABV celebrity named bourbon.
I would say 87. Now, not an official score just because my palate's not fully back, but 87, 88, somewhere in that range.
That's interesting because I had it at 87.
Yeah.
And usually we're a little bit off. I'm usually a little harder grader. And I like the sweetness of it. And a lot of you know this, maybe you're watching for the first time. I don't like bourbons that have the oakier flavors. This leans toward the sweeter, tartar flavors. So it's kind of moving into my realm. I'm with you. I don't get a lot of rye on it, and I love rye. Rye gives bourbons for me a peppery punch. This one is definitely on the sweeter side of things.
Yeah.
But my advice, I would drink it neat. I would not. I would drink it immaculate. Let's say that. I would drink it immaculate. No water needed.
I probably offended some people at first when I said the miracle catch.
They're like,
oh my God!
What they wanted you to talk about was the drive.
Yeah.
Against Cleveland, baby. Jacked them up. Jacked them up.
I'm going to try it with a second drop of water here. Just to see.
All right. You're going in. I poured it again neat because that's where I would sip this. That's where all the sweetness is, the tartness, and a little bit of cream in the finish.
Not bad. That was too much water, though. With one drop of water was good.
Was Terry good in the rain? I don't know. He seemed like he'd be a mutter.
Well, you got to remember, though, too, offenses back then were more run-oriented.
Well, and brutal defenses, too. They'd club your head.
Yeah.
I don't know if I couldn't have held in the pocket.
Yeah.
I would have been running like a small girl.
They'd grab your crotch and stretch it out. Stop
Kick you,
tackling you.
stomp you when you're on the ground. God forbid you get in a scrum.
Till the whistle blows.
Yeah, and then they'd be like, hey, that's enough. That's enough. Lineman comes up with a broken nose.
They'd have like two teeth.
Yes, two teeth and a broken nose and like 2 bars or 1 bar across their face mask. Yeah. I was like, what's going on? Now they got shields and multiple helmets and sensors. It's a whole different game. Whole different game.
All right. We scored it. We talked about is it worth it? And you have a little challenge that you want to issue.
So here's what we're looking to do. We've talked about, we're going to wait until Scott's taster's fully back. We want to do some future blind tasting episodes like we used to, but we haven't been doing that with Scott's.
That's my call.
Yeah.
You still brought that up. I was
call.
like, I want to wait.
Right.
Before blind shootouts, I just want to make sure my palate's back so I give it good accurate.
So one thing we want to do for the fans is give you guys a little bit, and gals, a little bit of input on what we'll do. And so since this is a American or a bourbon, we're going to talk about one of the options for a blind shootout or a family shootout, but we'll probably go blind with it. It's more fun blind, is balcones. So we've sourced a lot of balcones bottles, and if you want us to do that, thumb this video. So put some thumbs on it, because in a future Scotch episode we're going to talk about doing the same thing but with Glenallachie. Whichever video gets the most thumbs will be the next one we'll film. So we'll either be doing, you don't agree, we'll either be doing a Glenallachie blind.
I'm just picturing your logistics here.
Yeah, we'll either be doing a Glenallachie blind or first, or a balcones. So if you want to vote for balcones to be our next blind shootout, thumb this video. And when we get to the next Scotch one, we'll talk about thumbing that one for Glenallachie.
So it's whichever one gets the most thumbs?
Yes.
Wins?
Then, that'll be the one we'll do first. We'll probably maybe do both, but you never know. Things slide away as we do our show. Okay. We haven't done a blind in a long time. But they've got time. They've got time, because who knows when your palate's 100% back. Yeah. So again, if you really want us to do the balcones, the next balcones big blind shootout with just the family of balcones, thumb this video.
Do you want to say blind shootout or just a family shootout? We could do Glenallachie family shootout or balcones.
Some people are really pushing for blind, though. They wanted us to, so it'll be a family, but we'll do them blind because they're wondering, where would we pick blind?
We've got enough balcones. We could do a bracket.
We could do a bracket. We could do a bracket. But we'll do a family shootout blind. And again, if you want balcones to be the very first blind shootout we do when his taster and smeller's back, again, thumb this one. And we'll just look at which one gets the most thumbs, and that'll be the next one we film. All right, Patreon. Go to Patreon, look up Scotch Test Dummies. If you like the show, you want to help support, go there, you can do that. I said do that.
Go to ScotchTestDummies.com. You can purchase our merchandising, glasses, coins, dropper sets with
staves with stuff burned on it.
All right.
Scotch it, you Scotch guys.
So on,
Dummies.